Hey,
Hey, good
how you
morning.
doing there? Good morning, beautiful. Where you at in the world?
I am in Charlotte, North Carolina, waiting for you to come back.
Yes, ma'am. I think I'm in Charlotte. Is it November or September? I got to double check, but Charlotte is on the schedule, my sister.
Okay.
Charlotte is on the schedule. What's your take on all that's going on
I
with
wanted
our
to just speak on the what you were just talking about with us and our hair.
Yes.
So, I actually owned a hair company for a few years, just because I felt like we were the number one consumer. Hold on one second. Hey, I'm actually on the phone. Thank you. Can I get back to you? All right, thank you. Sorry about that. And I wanted to do it because I felt like we were one of the number one consumers, but it was really owned by Asians and by Middle Easterns. And what I wanted to touch on is how we aren't accepted. I found the common theme was us black women and our natural hair.
Hmm.
And I find some black men go through this too. It's not accepted in corporate America in
No.
its natural state. It just isn't. A lot of us have to straighten our hair for interviews, and then maybe when once we're hired, we could rock our fros. But it's a certain way we have to maneuver, unfortunately, because for whatever reason, our hair in its natural state, and I find this with black people too, we're just judged differently.
So you say even black people don't want to see your hair in its
Yes.
natural state.
Yes.
So let me ask you this from a Gariite perspective. I agree with what you're saying. So let me ask you this first, though. Has the Crown Act made it better? Because the Crown Act makes it illegal to discriminate against natural hairstyles.
I don't think, and I'm originally from New York,
Okay.
so I feel like maybe up north, maybe, but down south,
Not too much.
no.
So here's my visionary question for you, good sister. My visionary question. When do black women come together and say, so what? White people don't like it. So what? Our own people don't like it. Let's take this $30 billion we dumping into the beauty industry every year, and let's take that $30 billion and build businesses for black women so we don't have to go beg white corporate America for jobs, and we can wear our hair any kind of way we want. The amount of money that black women are contributing annually to
Right,
this fake hair care market,
right.
it's an insane amount of money. I mean, there's
It's,
enough money there for y'all to each build your own business and wear your hair any kind of way you want.
right,
So when do we get to that point?
right, right. And I don't know the answer to that. I know
Have
that
you ever
the
been invited to a meeting by black women to organize black women into a unitary whole? Are black women talking about working with each other, or are y'all still just as segregated and separated as you've always been? Because I think black women
right,
could build a powerful movement if y'all could just stick together.
right, I
Eh,
agree.
why do you think black women, and we talking only
Right,
black women, why do you
right,
think black women are not coming together in mass
right.
to do something for the sisterhood? What is keeping black women from coming together?
Competition, competition for sure. And it's one of those things that I only talk to in very intimate settings, because it's something that I don't like. I don't feel comfortable talking, obviously, around other people.
Got it.
But I talk about this like in the hair salon, um, like in corporate settings. It's not the others who give me the hardest time. Actually, it's the women who look like me a lot of times.
What is the main thing, before I let you go? What is the main thing that drives competition between black women? What are you guys most likely to be competing over?
I don't know. I
Give me
don't
two
know.
things. Give me two things that, in your experience, tends to drive the competition between black women, thereby undermining unity within the female
I
kingdom.
saw someone say men. I don't think it's
You
men.
don't think
I honestly
it's
think
men?
it. No, I think that from what I see, it's a lot of times older women envying younger women in the work atmosphere. Um, like I said, I think it's competition, but I don't know because I like embracing young women. And I love mentoring. Like, but that's my desire. I can't speak for other women. It may have something to do with how people was brought up. You know, I don't know, but it's not a very warm environment. A lot of times when I come across women who look like me, a lot of times in the workforce and day to day, nah. I'm talking about elders.
Let me ask you a question on that elder piece. Do you feel that younger women, your generation and younger, do y'all show enough reverence to the elder queen mothers? Like, do y'all respect the elder queen mothers, or are younger black women dismissive of our elder women? Like, in other words, is this a one-way thing where they're just being dismissive or disrespectful to you guys? Or is the same energy coming back towards them as well? Do we show enough reverence to our elders?
That's a great point. That's a great point. I think it's a respect thing. I think if, unfortunately, I think if they carry themselves a certain way, respect is there. But there's something with that Gen X generation where they still think they young when really they are the new elders. But if they out here twerking and they're not going to get that same respect because they're competing with women 20, 30 years younger than them when really they're the new elders.
Okay, I feel you. I feel you. I appreciate that, Queen. Thanks for tapping in, and I'm gonna see you in Charlotte soon.
All right.
All righty.
Salute.
Be blessed.
Bye.
Who tapping in next? Who tapping in next? Who tapping in next? She said the elders be disrespecting the youth, but do the youth be disrespecting the elders? Are black women competing over men, or are they competing over power? Comfort towers going once. Comfort towers going twice. Comfort towers. How we doing, Sister Comfort?
Hi, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing all right with that beautiful afro. All
Yeah,
right.
I wasn't
Talk
ready.
to me, Queen.
Okay.
What's your thoughts?
What's the question?
Black women, two questions for you. Three questions, actually, three in one. They kind of go together. Why aren't black women organizing amongst yourselves as sisters? Y'all dealing with femicide, infant mortality, domestic abuse, unalivings, homelessness at an all-time high with single black mothers. Why aren't black women organizing and coming together more as women? Why are black women in such competition with each other? What are you guys competing over? Are you competing over men? Are you competing over bodies, looks, status? What is the competition about? And the third part of the female question is the elders. Elderly black women who I refer to as the queen mothers. The queen mothers feel like y'all young queens be disrespecting them, ignoring them, not showing no
Oh
reverence,
my God.
no humility. What's your take on the competition, respect for the queen mothers, and why aren't black women organizing and unifying amongst yourselves?
Wow, those are great questions. I saw a lot of awesome comments. I made a few. Um, So I can only speak for what I've observed and what I've experienced. I find that there's a lot of discord in our community across genders, age, generations. Like, we're just very scattered, and we know that that's like a result of systemic, intentional attacks on our community. And so, like you already said, it is a psychological concern, that we can't seem to come together. And I have some of the same questions, that like, why are we so in disarray, and like, why can't we come together? I find that we don't have, my observation is that we have poor conflict resolution.
Okay.
So like, whenever there's a conflict, communities and relationships tend to fall apart instead of coming together. So I don't really know how to fix the fact that like communication is so difficult. But I'm here for the same reason. I'm here to like learn and communicate to one another and problem solve together. But I agree that if we came together, and stopped fighting and bickering over stupid stuff, we could really make some shit shake. And I can see people in here commenting of like, what space are you creating? I mean, I think we're all here because like, you are creating spaces for us to have these conversations. So thanks. But as far as, I don't feel like I can speak for Black women, obviously. I'm a part of the community, but I feel separated times because I'm also Latina. I'm mixed. And so sometimes I'm like marginalized and pushed up, like I can't be a part of the conversation. But it's like, I think it's important for us to all know when we can and can't speak to something that we did or didn't experience. But we
Okay.
have to listen to each other and come together and consider perspectives. And sometimes that's hard. And I think that the Oppression Olympics, you hear talk about that,
Yeah.
like everyone's for like, well, I had it worse than you, and that's not what I went through. And it's just like, we can't actually hold space for each other and listen to each other, because there is that constant competition, whether it's a pain or suffering or knowledge. Like, I you, and I feel like someone said like it's an ego thing. So I guess that, I don't know.
Okay. So tell me about your Latina background. What is mom? What is dad? You're obviously African. I can see that. So that's not the issue
Yes.
here. I just wanted to know. I
Hello.
see the beautiful African
Thank you.
afro. I'm loving it, my sister. I'm loving it. So which parent is Latina?
Latino and like indigenous, my father.
Okay, he's from, what's his nationality?
I'm Puerto Rican, Black and Puerto Rican.
Okay. Okay, which parent is Black?
My mother.
Mom is Black and dad is from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Okay, which means he's pretty much about 75% African himself, if you know
He's
the
not,
history of Puerto Rico. Okay, so he's not, no African blood in your dad.
I don't think
Oh,
so. He's like white and
okay,
indigenous.
so he's like Caucasian Latino.
Indigenous and white, yeah.
Because when you're dealing with the Latin, you got your indigenous, then you got your Caucasian Latinos.
Mm-hmm.
So those would be
He's
your colonizers who came over.
mixed.
Okay, say that again. We stand just with dad right now. I just want to be clear.
He
So you're saying he's not, okay, he's mixed.
but white. He looked white, but like
Okay,
he's not,
so he would be indigenous and Caucasian Latino.
he's
I
mixed.
got you. So he's indigenous and Caucasian Latino, but mom's straight up Black. I got you. Okay, so you definitely one of us.
Yes.
Question: your decision to wear your hair natural.
I'm
Your
sorry.
decision to wear your hair natural. Where did that come from? Why are you so comfortable in your skin? Have you always been natural? Is this a new thing? Why are you natural? And do you
God.
think Black women make too many excuses not to be natural? That's two questions. Why are you natural? And do you think your African sisters make too many excuses not to be natural?
I was raised to always be natural, so
So
I
your mama
wasn't like,
gave you that. Your mama gave you that Black pride.
yes. But she didn't really like be so explicit to really teach me about my history, and that's something I'm on a journey of learning myself. And I feel like a lot of us relate to that, where some of us were not really taught true history. We like went to school, and so like whatever they taught us in school is what we learned. But she was always natural. When I was a kid in the 90s, she had natural hair or she had locks. So that's just what I'm used to. It wasn't really a big decision. I do remember like in high school wanting to straighten my hair, of course, like what the sister was saying before about, you know, the pressure that we feel to change our looks to be accepted. And I know the Crown Act is like, that's cool and all, but it's like, why does it have to even exist? And like, that's crazy. Like that it should have to be an act for us to just exist in our skin. And so in the conversation about like your natural hair, I don't know. I just think that I'm like a naturalist. So I just want to be, you know, less chemicals, less whatever, like just try to
Oh,
be in my state. I'm indigenous, as I said. So like that's important to me to be one with earth and like connected. So that's something that I got from my abuela first. She was indigenous. And then my mom, she was always natural. So that's just how I am. I am, you know, indigenous and black, and I'm proud of every part of who I am. And why I cannot speak to why other people choose not to wear, but I agree that I feel the pressure to change it. Or like people make a comment of like, what are you gonna do with your hair? People have said that recently, and like I'm like, oh, I'm not ready for the camera. You know what I'm
don't
saying?
touch it. I love it. I love the afro. It fits your face, your features.
Thanks.
You're gorgeous. Don't touch it. And I
Thank
mean,
you.
unless you're gonna go with, you know, with a bigger afro or smaller afro,
I
some
know.
keep it natural, whatever you do. But I like the way it is. I love the way it is.
Yes, somebody said it. I'm Taino and Nigerian. That is my heritage, and I'm also Spanish on my dad's side as well. But did the DNA test.
Wait a
So
minute.
if
Your
y'all,
mom is from Nigeria?
no. Well,
Her
we are.
ancestry is
Yeah,
Nigerian.
we are descendants of trafficked Americans who were enslaved in this country. So unfortunately, we don't have connection to like I don't know my tribe yet, but I want to know. But I know it's not like it says Nigerian, whatever the data says. I don't know.
So let me ask you this: when you are asked, and to me, it's obvious, like you just see a regular sister. Like I don't see any, you know what I mean? I'm not confused at all when I look at you, who you are. But for those people who, for whatever reason, may seek to question your racial heritage, what do you tell them you are?
I'm Black Puerto Rican.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
Makes sense to me. And where you based that, my queen? Where you based that?
Black, but I mean, it's what's more accurate is what I said, Taino, Nigerian. Like, if you want to get down to it, you know what I'm saying?
Right. But I got you. But Nigeria is a nationality, not a race. Taino is an ethnicity, not necessarily a race. You
Right.
follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
And
the
race,
ethnicities are the rivers. The ethnicities are the rivers that drain into the ocean. The ocean is the race. The rivers and streams are the ethnicities. So when somebody say, I'm Puerto Rican
right? What you
and
really,
black,
yeah,
neither one of those are a race. Puerto Rican is a nationality. You understand? So
yeah.
those are the rivers, but we got to make sure we tie them into the ocean. Where you base that, good sister?
I'm in Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee. I'm supposed to be coming to Nashville to do a live podcast interview. So I may be coming there soon, but I'll keep you posted on that. But thank you so much for tapping in. Enjoyed the wisdom, sweetheart. All right now. Peace and love to you, Queen.
Peace.
Okay. I got to take a quick restroom break and I'm coming right back. Quick water break. King Kong will be right back for the next tap in. King Kong is back. Who my next tap in? Who my next tap in? King Kong. Who tapping in, family? We got 30 minutes. I got to get ready to check out the hotel. Who tapping in? Sister Raven going once. Sister Raven going twice.
How are you?
Peace and love, Sister Raven. Where you at in the world, my sister?
I am in Memphis, Tennessee. How are you?
Memphis,
I
Tennessee. We
work at a
just
hair
had Nashville. Now
salon.
we got Memphis. All right. What's
Yes,
your thoughts, Sister Raven?
hi.
Natural hair. Why
First,
y'all not wearing it? Why
yes,
aren't
first
black women
off, I
working
do want to.
together? Why
Hi,
y'all competing? And
I'm
why we not respecting the elders?
okay. Okay. First, I want to tap into the natural hair aspect. Of course, I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I work in Memphis, Tennessee. Got my client
All
right
right.
here. Her name is
All
Jonna.
right. Hey,
Yes.
Donna.
So I do want to address that. I do think it's like a mental health issue when it comes to like African American women not choosing to wear their hair. As you see, I do have on a wig right now myself, and I do feel like I struggle with wearing my natural hair and being comfortable with my natural hair. I'm a hairstylist, and I still struggle with it. So I do think it's something deeply rooted, especially from childhood. It's like, the process of us getting our hair high combed and straightened by our parents at such an early age. And it's basically saying that if our natural hair isn't accepted. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like that's something that as African American women, we deeply struggle with. Like, it's like embedded. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not making an excuse for me wearing wigs, but I know it's something internal that I feel like I'm not as accepted or as beautiful in society standards if I'm wearing my natural hair.
Powerful. Well said.
Yes, but I did want to address something as well, far as the Black agenda when it
Yes.
comes to this presidential election. How
Yes.
do we get people in our area and basically in the whole world to stick to one agenda? Like, do we need to have like a national press conference and we have to list 5 different things that we all can agree on? Because I'm trying to figure out, like, as Black people, we're not monolithic. Like, we all have different things that we feel like is important to us. So how can we all get on one page? Because I was literally in my notes the other day and I was trying to write down a list of things that I feel like is important to me. But how can I say that that's important to the next Black person?
That's a good point, good sister. I think the problem is when you're dealing with the presidential election, I think unfortunately, black people have been manipulated into identifying as Democrat as opposed to simply looking at the Democratic Party as an option or a tactic. We identify with them. So we feel like we are
I
Democrats.
agree with that because even as a child, I used to see my grandmother and they always like they voting Democrat, they voting Democrat, they voting Democrat. Even before I was able to understand what Democrat and Republican was, it was just known in the household. Oh, we voting for whoever is Democrat. I never heard them discuss issues on why they wanted to vote for the Democratic Party. It was just like Black people do Democrat my whole life, and as I'm getting older, I'm kind of pushing back from that because I don't know if it's the internet, but I'm like suspicious of anyone, Black or white. Like,
Yes, yes.
you're African American, I believe, like what you were saying about the Black bourgeoisie, they want to push their agendas forward,
Yep.
but not thinking about the lower man.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out like what should I be telling my people around me that we should get on route for.
Well said. Let me ask you a question, Queen, on the black male female relationship front. What are the 3 things that you think black women would appreciate more from black men? Like when y'all look at us and the way we treat y'all or don't treat y'all, what we do, what we don't do, how we feel, don't feel, communicate, don't communicate. What are 3 things that if black men just did them a little bit more for black women, you think that the communication and the quality of the relationship would improve drastically?
I feel like security is the number one
What do
aspect.
you mean by security?
Making a woman feel safe. And safety is gonna come from like different aspects of different things. As far as like, I want to know that the man that I'm with is gonna care for me, like genuinely. So like the little things, like far as like, I don't want to make it like monetarily wise, but like just little things about like if I feel like if I'm telling you, if I'm talking to you, I'm like, Dad, my gas tank on you. You know I'm at work all day. Why won't you just come pick up my car and give me some gas? You know what I'm saying?
Go
You
an
like,
extra mile sometimes to
yeah,
show
just
you
go the
care.
extra mile. But also, like I said, every woman wants to feel safe. They want to feel protected. They want to feel like I have a 2-year-old son. So when I got pregnant with my son, my significant other at the time, I kind of had a perception of how I thought it should be. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be able to work for a couple of months. I want to know that I can rely on my partner to handle my bills and take care of the things that I need him to take care of, so I can be stress free in raising my
Yes.
son. But and that's a part of safety. Women, black women can be perceived as so hard and tough. It's not that we want to be, it's because we have to be, because we don't have anyone to really lean on when we really need it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like,
That's
when
powerful.
it's like, okay, you be here when I'm up, but like I really need you when I'm down. And
I got you.
when I'm down, I can't rely on you. So if I can't rely on you, I'm never gonna try to. I'm always gonna make sure I have it all together.
Let me ask you a caveat question to your response there. What about your non-romantic male friends? My question is, sisters tend to have non-romantic male friends. Are they a source of support, or is it not the same as a romantic part? Tell me about the difference other than the sex. Obviously, there's nothing intimate with your non-romantic
I'm a
partners, but
big
can they provide the same level of support, or is it just not the
They
same?
can. They actually can. They actually can. I have guy best friends, and I teeter with me dating guys, and I tell them that I have a guy best friend that I know that if I need anything, I can call him and he'll be right there. I really do. I can't even say that. Like, my guy friends, most of my guy friends, if I call them, they're gonna come. If I got a flat tire on the side of the road, they'll come. Non-romantic, just friends.
Can I please ask you a question?
She said she wants to
Go
ask
right
Hey,
you.
I'm
ahead.
getting my hair done right now. I just want to say, why is it that a lot of black men, if it's not romantic, they treat you better as a friend than when they are romantic with you?
I agree with that.
They
I agree
treat
with
you
that.
way better if you're just a friend with them than if you are romantic with them. I wanted to understand that a little more.
Well, I think, and I'm gonna see what some of the other brothers think, but for me, I think there's a couple reasons. Number one, many men present themselves one way when they are on the prowl,
Mm-hmm.
when they are on the hunt, when they are in pursuit. That's one personality.
Okay.
Once they achieve their objective, once they have conquered that the object of their desire, the real them comes out.
Right.
So it's not that they switched up, it's that they took off the mask.
Right.
That,
They
that
show their true
that's
colors.
that's one. And then you also have to look at the aspect of narcissism. Black
Mm.
men suffer from narcissism. Heterosexual black men
Right.
suffer from narcissism because there's not enough of us to go around. And that narcissism often blinds us to what we're not doing in our relationship, because the narcissism has us feeling like you should be happy I'm even in your life, because
Right.
most women don't have a man. You should be happy that you even have me to sleep next to at night, because most women have an empty bed. So a lot of us think being
No.
present is sufficient. We never even get to the accountability. We never even get to the reciprocity. You should be happy simply because I am here.
Right.
And that is that narcissistic piece that black men really need to confront. And if he is a high earning black man, it can get even worse sometimes,
Right.
because now he might feel like you should literally be worshiping him because of what he's bringing into your life. Humility is something black men need to work on with our women, and we have to stop making y'all feel insecure about the fact that it's not enough of us to go around. In other words, if you're going to be there for her, be there for her. And if you're not going to be there for her, let her know that, so she can decide if she wants to stay or go. But once again, going back to that narcissism, we might not necessarily want you the way you want us, but we can't stand to see somebody have
Right.
you the way you wanted me to have you. And
Yeah.
that's that selfishness that'll keep you emotionally tied up until you get strong enough to realize that this is not what's going to serve your best interests.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks a
And
lot,
Dr.
ladies. Y'all keep on doing what you're doing.
Well,
My beautiful sweet brown sugar, my beautiful caramel. Go
thank
ahead,
you,
Queen.
thank
You
you.
was going to say something
I
else.
have a young son that's 2 years old, and of course, I don't live close by where your university is going to be. But what are some things that you feel like I should start instilling in my child right now?
2 years old, literacy is everything.
Okay.
Slow down on the toys, pick up the books. Slow down on the cartoons, pick up the books. Make him read to you, you read to him. Make sure he lives in a world of literacy, because your son's vocabulary is going to quadruple between 2 and 5. Our biggest spurt in vocabulary growth is between 2 and 5. Now think about what most black kids are doing between 2 and 5. Toys, TV, video games. Books, books, and more books. You have to feed that vocabulary growth, so your son will already be a well-spoken black man before he even walks into kindergarten.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thanks a
Umar.
lot, ladies. Y'all be safe.
Okay.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, let me tap into the male kingdom. Where the brothers at one time? Where the unapologetically African anti-snow bunny alpha males? Let me get me your brother. Where my brother at? Going once. My brother at going twice. Where you at, King? Okay. Brother Merv, where you at, Brother Merv? Brother Merv, where you at, Brother Merv? Going once, going twice. Where you at?
Dog,
Peace King, where you at in the world?
Orlando, Florida. How we doing?
I'm doing well, my brother. Well, you just heard the sister. She said, we're not making the queens feel secure. She said, once we start dating them, we don't treat them, once we get physical with them, we don't treat them the same way we treat them when we were just platonic friends. What's your take on the black male-female relationship situation, and what's your opinion on election 2024 between Agent Orange and Kamala Harris?
Uh, Honestly, I'm a big fan of you, Doc, and I see everything on TikTok, man. So, I'm not. It's two wrongs. It's two wrongs. It's no good side, and I feel like you made a good picture on that. You painted both sides correctly. So, I really can't say like I have an opinion or choose sides on any of that. Like,
Okay.
I really don't. Like about Trump, what he said about the immunity. Like I can't go with that. Like I can't, like that's something crazy about the recent killing of
Sonya
I forgot what
Massey.
her Sonya Massey. Yeah, Sonya Massey. So and about the what is it? What is it? I'm a little
Uh,
nervous right now. My bad, dog.
Election, or
Yeah.
or the black man, black woman.
Oh yeah, about the black man, black woman. So about that one there. That's true, because I'm in my 20s. Like, around this time, like, there's a lot of people who put facades and stuff like that when they want to get to know somebody. Or, like, when they're trying to get the cookies, like, they not going to show who they really are. So, that's
I
something that
feel you.
most men in my generation, that's what they do. They really don't lead with their true intentions. They really just put on that mask, and they just go for the cookies. That's what it's about, really, nowadays. And about the politics, man. About that there, like I said, Kamala Harris. I didn't really like what she was doing. Like bringing like all of the black celebrities. I remember you were speaking about that too. You were speaking about that, like bringing the celebrities, like putting like a facade and her being like for the black community. Like I really like she didn't really speak on like what she would be doing with like the black community, like giving
Right.
us jobs, like you know, we need to build that structure that we have within like the Black community. So, you know, like I didn't really hear that from her. So, you know, I'm not really on any side really.
I got you, brother. Thanks for tapping in, King. Be safe down there.
Yeah, take care. Take
All
care.
right, bro. Who tapping in? Who tapping in? Who tapping in? Sister Z going once. Sister Z going twice. Sister Z, where you at? Okay. Is this Sister Z timed out? Cancel that. Who tapping in? Who tapping in? Missy Melanin going once. Missy Melanin going twice. Where you at, Queen? I need to see you. We can't talk if I can't see you, babe. Missy Melanin, I need to see you, Queen. Where you at, Empress? You laying in the bed looking up at the ceiling?
No, I'm not laying in the
There
bed.
you go.
I'm
There
right.
you go. How you doing, Queen?
I'm doing
Where
good.
you
How
at
are you?
in the world?
I'm in Long Island, New York.
Long Island, Strong Island, New
I
York.
love you so much. I've been listening to you since I was a teenager. Like,
Oh,
I'm starstruck right
I
now.
appreciate you, Queen. I appreciate you. What's your take on the Black women issues? Everything from the competition to the hair to not respecting the elderly Black women. What's your take?
Um, so I guess I could start with hair. Um, I feel that we should be able to wear our natural hair more, but I also feel like it's not accepted enough.
Okay.
I wear my natural hair a lot, and when I do, I always get comments, even within my family, and they'll try to say things like, "You need your hair done." So, and then like when I put a wig on or something, then I'm more socially accepted. So, I mean, I definitely think that there should be some changes. Like, I feel like we need to be able to love ourselves more.
Yes.
Yeah.
And why do you think Black women are not uniting with each other to create systems and structures that will benefit Black women? Where's the organization amongst the sisterhood? What's keeping Black women from unifying?
Um, I think that we want to unify. Even me personally, I started doing women's empowerment brunches, which are consist of mainly Black women, and I think that we want to. I just think that we don't have enough people who are willing to like create movements and like try to support one another. I think everybody's just wrapped up into their own life.
Mm-hmm.
This, yeah, I just think that we don't have enough people who are willing to be leaders.
Gotcha. And what's your take on election 2024? You know, Scamala, Agent Orange, certain people trying to shame Black people into voting, even though neither one of them is saying anything that's relevant to Black people. Where do you stand?
So I pretty much don't want to vote for anyone because um, Kamala Harris, she's really not, trying to do anything for Black people, period. And then I just think Donald Trump is racist. So I don't really know if I'm gonna vote yet. I'm still thinking about it, but I do want to exercise my right to vote, but I don't really want to vote for either one of them.
Okay, okay. Thank you for tapping in, my beautiful African queen. And I want you to go natural. You got that beautiful nose, them big pretty eyes, that cocoa brown skin, that gorgeous smile. Get you a baby fro, get you some locks, get you some twisties, get
No,
you a
my natural
Caesar.
hair is beautiful. My natural hair is beautiful. I always wear it. Like I literally just put it in the wig like for a protective style just to like let
Okay,
my hair rust a little bit. But yeah.
got you. Okay. Next time I see you, I want to see that natural.
Please come to Long Island soon.
I'm working on it too. I might be there next month. I'll keep you posted. All
Okay.
right, beautiful.
Bye.
Be safe. King Kong consciousness. King Kong consciousness. No, thank you. I'll be checking out at 1. Peace, King. How's it going, my brother?
What's up, dog? Oh, man, it's an honor, man, to be able
Oh,
to
the
speak
honor's
to you,
mine.
man.
Where you at, good brother?
I'm all the way in Waldorf, Maryland.
Waldorf, Maryland. Wow, I spoke there 2 years ago. Yes, sir, down in Waldorf. Yes, indeed, brother. Talk to me. What's your take on the black male-female relationship situation? What's your take on election 2024?
All right, so getting into the relationship situation, I think it's unfortunate that black women are very manipulative.
Okay.
So with them being manipulative, they
Give me an
tend to.
example of that. Give me one example of black female manipulation. Give me something you've seen or heard of.
I mean, I think just in general, man, with like, black men like just having like that skill of being a player. They know how to say the right words to get women to be able to succumb to certain things. And
Oh, okay. You said the men are manipulative, not the women. You said the men.
yeah, exactly. I said so. Women are very easy to be manipulated.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead, King. I got you.
Yep. So yeah, women are very easy to be manipulated. I think if they enter the situation of coming in with some type of standard, you know what I mean? Even also presenting themselves in a more elegant and, woman-like manner, then men wouldn't be so easy to approach them in a certain way or to come as aggressive with that urge to have sex and not respect their decisions, if you will.
Well said. Well said. What do we need to work on as black men with women other than the manipulation? We obviously need to stop that, but what's something else we need to work on? You heard the sister earlier said that we don't often make them feel protected, secure. We're not very thoughtful. Just being present is enough for a lot of black men. Just be happy that I'm with you type energy. What's your thoughts on that?
So I think for one, man, black men, we just really lack a lot of good role models within our community. Especially for us young black men growing up in the inner city, we tend to look up to the guys getting money, like the dope dealers, and they pushing the message up, having tons of, excuse my French, tons of bitches and getting money and stuff like that. So that tends to be enticing to the young male. Since it's so enticing to the young male, that's the mindset we carry. A lot of men in the inner city lacking fathers, good fathers in their home or good older brothers to teach them, hey, this is how you appropriately approach a woman and things like that. This is how you appropriately ask a woman out. So those things matter, you know what I mean? And also, we have to see that example. So we don't see, our moms and our older sisters being treated with respect by, strong black men. Then we don't have that example in front of us to be able to mimic.
Well
So
said.
I think strong black role models is very important.
Well said. What's your opinion on election 2024? Kamala, Trump, voting, not voting. What's your opinion on the whole circus going on?
Man, so we all know absolutely, man, Donald Trump is just, clueless, ignorant, no political IQ at all. He pushes the agenda of, I think, preserving for the rich. I think that's his whole agenda. I think the full police immunity is absolutely insane. So we're definitely no good voting for him. I think Kamala Harris being a Democrat isn't helpful, as I think the Democratic Party hasn't been too beneficial to the black community over the years at all. But I think if Kamala Harris was to get elected, I think she would have more pressure to actually present change in the black community more than Obama did. And I say that because she's a woman, not only for her being black, because she's a woman. And I think
I feel you.
because she also has that proximity to the celebrities like the Taraji P. Hensons and the other black elite celebrities, because she has that relationship and that proximity. I think they'll hold her to a higher standard and hold her more accountable.
Okay.
I think accountability will be held more on her, and so I think there will be more pressure on her to actually bring about change in the black community if she was to get elected. But as of right now, she hasn't shown me a whole lot or spoken out on a whole lot as far as what she would do in the black community. But I just hope that changes.
Well said, my brother. Thanks for tapping in, man. Be safe down there.
All right, man. You too, man. Thank you
All
too,
right,
Doc.
King. No doubt. Well well-spoken, articulate young black brother. Glad to see that. Glad to see that. Glad to see that. Glad to see that. Glam Savant going once, Glam Savant going twice.
Hold on.
How we doing there, beautiful?
Hey, how are you?
All right. Love the natural hair. Love the natural hair. Where you based at, my queen?
I'm in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I was there 2 years ago. I only spoke in Oklahoma City twice. So I need to come back because Oklahoma City, I was just in Tulsa for Black Wall Street, but I got to hit up Oklahoma. What is your take on the natural hair situation, black women not sticking together situation, black on black love, the brothers and the sisters? Talk to me.
I think, go. I think that the natural hair, as most have already said, it's more of a confidence thing, you know. I grew up, I remember, with perms just because everybody else had them.
Okay.
And when I finally realized my natural state, what it was, I was like, oh, this is cool, you know, and I haven't had one since. But I didn't grow up with my natural hair. Like, they put a perm in it just because, you know, wasn't my choice, right?
Okay.
So I think it's more of like a confidence, you know, they're comfortable or not. I mean, it is easier to not be natural, but like I said, I don't know. For me, it's just because it's easy to be natural to me. Some say it's easier not to be natural, but I think it's easier to be natural. I mean, you just put some oil and some water and you just go on about your business. Especially as a single mom, you know, raising, you know, I don't have time.
Yes,
my natural is beautiful, so I'm okay. So I guess it's just a confidence thing. It's a personal issue, each woman, you know.
Let me ask you this then, because I've heard a lot of sisters say the reason they don't wear their natural hair is it takes too much time to manage it. And
right,
take
that's
care
what
of
I'm saying. So it's individual. Because for me, that was the reason why I stay natural, because it's easier.
Right, but you're saying it's easier. I've
to
heard
be
sisters
natural.
say it's more difficult
Right.
to be natural.
So like I said, for each person, it's their own, you know, take on it. But for me, it's easier to be natural.
Talk to me about black women sticking together. Why you think there's not more unity amongst the sisterhood?
I think because for one, I think it's something that has to be taught, you know.
Okay.
And you know, we grow up with around our moms gossiping, you know, like I remember growing up and just hearing conversations about other women, you know, so it's something that definitely has been taught. But I think as we get older, it becomes competition. I commented men. I think we are, because like I said, it's a slim pickings. And so, you know, when it comes, it's kind of like survival of the fittest, you know, like it's just something that we naturally go into, survival mode, you know?
Okay. Now, with the black male-female relationships, I heard you mention you as a single mom. Without going too deep into your personal business, because we are live, generally speaking, why are you not with the father of the children? Was it infidelity? Was it a lack of trust? Was it irresponsibility? Was it just not a good match and neither one of you was at fault? Like, why is there such a disconnect between the brothers and the sisters?
For my oldest son, I have two. Mm-hmm. So the first son, it was just trust.
Okay.
I was married, and so yeah. And the second child, it's just the lack of responsibility. Like, that's just it. There's nothing else I can think of besides you just don't want to.
And you have two boys.
Correct.
So let me ask you this. As you raise them, based on your experiences with black men romantically, what is one or two things you will definitely instill in your sons as it relates to their relationships with women that you feel you did not get from their father? Like, what is something you want to make sure my son does this or understands this with women to make sure that he's benefiting them and not being a liability?
For one, his job is to protect and provide. Like, you are a provider at all costs, no matter what. You are to provide for the foundation, for your family, or for your woman, whoever you choose to be that to be. And this is no snow bunny zone over here. Trust and believe. I will instill that in them as well. They'll be scared to bring a snow bunny home. They be scared of their mama. No, mom's not. No, because it's not gonna happen. It's just not.
Got you.
Can't have that.
My last question for you, beautiful. The election. Where you standing at with the Kamala, Trump, the whole circus? What's your take?
Well, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, so I don't vote.
Well, let
But
me ask you. My grandmother was Jehovah's Witness, Rester. So Jehovah's Witnesses don't vote. That's a policy. I didn't know that.
I don't think it's a policy, but it's something
I
that we learn. Like, it's a something that we learn. I mean, you can do what you want, by all means. You do what you want to
but
do.
voting is not encouraged.
It's not encouraged.
Okay.
Right.
But you're not. You won't get in trouble for voting.
No, you won't
It's
get in
just
trouble
not
for voting.
encouraged.
It's just not encouraged, right?
I didn't know that. I never knew that. Me and my grandma never spoke on voting. I never knew
Yeah,
that.
nothing is never like a policy. You know, it's just, this is you when you are taught, you know, or given a study, you this can become your belief because you're taught. Like, you read it in the Bible, you know, and so you learn these things. So when you get baptized, like, that's your belief. So it kind of becomes part of you, like a lifestyle, you know.
Let me ask you a devil's advocate question. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
I know some Jehovah's Witnesses queens. I've only dated one in college, though. They can be y'all can be a bit rigid, anal, inflexible because of the strictness of the Jehovah's Witness doctrine. My devil's advocate question for you, sister. Were you a bit too rigid and strict with the fathers of your sons, and did that cause some of the issues in the relationship? I just had to ask because I didn't know you was a Jehovah's Witness. Like, is that religion carrying too much weight in that home?
Absolutely not, because at the end of the day, like, my grandmother gave me a choice. Like, when she raised me, I wasn't raised Jehovah's Witness. So I went to Baptist churches, Church of Christ. You know, as long as we went to church, it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
So when I met my husband at the time, I said, you know, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. This is what I believe. You can do what you want, but this is what I do. And he actually started learning and wanting to know more. And, you know, he never got baptized, but he, you know, we like, I told him that we need to be on the, like, we need to know spiritually. Something spiritual has to lead us. You know what I'm saying? And I told him straight up, I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I'm looking to get married. Like, this is what I want to do. So, you know, and then so he's not a witness, but he's been around. He knows enough to know, you know.
Got you. Thanks for tapping in, my queen. I look forward to seeing you in OKC one day.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Have a great day.
Be safe. You too now. Shout out to the Jehovah's Witness queen.